Alaikum, and hi there. We are from Group 68 will explain briefly about what actually happened in 36. Okay, so it was a rainy day and the road was logically is wet. So the application of hydroplaning is there. Hydroplaning is when a layer of water builds between the wheels and the surface of the road. So let me just sketch it to make it actually understandable. So this is the layer of water that is between the tire and the surface of the road. This leads to a loss of friction force between the tire and the road. So we knew that if the friction force is almost zero, so the car was almost failed to brake itself from the high speed. Let me actually explain further about the brake system of the car. Nowadays, all cars are actually using a hydraulic brake system that is actually applicable to the Pascal law. Hydraulic brake function by a pedal can transmit a large force to all wheels simultaneously to stop the car. So, for example, if a force is exerted here, so imagine this is a brake, this is a pedal. If a force is exerted this way, all the fluid in the system are actually pushed the brake to stop the tire.
From the previous section, the car actually speeded into the lake because there are almost no friction force acting on the tire. So the car basically failed to brake itself from skidded into the lake. So now moving to when the car floated for 2 minutes. Why did the car floated for 2 minutes and not sink immediately? This is because of the Archimedes principle that acted on the car. Archimedes principle is when an object is partially or completely immersed in the fluid, which is water in the lake. The fluid exerts an upward force, which is a buoyant force, on the object, which equals to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. So in this case, it is floated for 2 minutes because of the buoyant force. That it is an upward force. For this case, the volume of water displaced by the car was actually volume of water actually bigger or greater than the weight of the car itself. So the buoyant force is greater than the force of gravity that's pulling it down. So in the FBD, actually there's a buoyant force, and actually there's a drag force and the weight force. But since the volume that the car displaced, volume of water, was greater than the weight itself, so we can conclude that FB plus FD is greater than weight. So the car logically will float for 2 minutes because the buoyant force is still greater than the weight and the gravitational force. So from this we conclude that it is the car can float for 2 minutes because of the existence of the buoyant force. Focus to when the car sank down. Okay, so basically when the car actually sank down, it lost lots of airspace in the car, so the buoyant force is decreasing. Decrease. But the weight of the car is still the same, the weight is still the same. So therefore the car sank at a relatively slow speed, slowly sinking. This is also happen when the pressure inside the car and outside the car is not the same. Balancing the pressure from outside the car and the inside the car also happen. As I stated before, the pressure of the water is greater than pressure inside the car. Thus, the force of water exerts into the car. We can say that the force of the water also help the gravitational force to actually put the car into the bottom of the lake. So we can actually conclude in the FBD that FD, drag force, and weight is also the same, but FB plus FD is less than the weight itself, plus the gravitational force. Now we are going to focus why the driver failed to open the door and the solution for it. So here we can, this is the water side, which is outside, this is inside the car. From the theoretically, the force or the pressure that the water exerted on the dashboard, car doors, is actually greater than the force or pressure that exerted by the driver. So basically, we can say that the driver actually failed to open the door because the force or the pressure that the water exerted actually pushed the car doors back. So we can conclude that in the FBD, the pressure of water, and this is the pressure of the driver. Pressure of water is greater than the pressure of the driver, that both of them exerted on the door. So basically, the door is static. It cannot open or it cannot open back into the car. So the solution is simple actually. The driver only have to break the window to actually make the pressure at equilibrium state. So the driver actually can escape the car if he broke the window to make the pressure between inside the car and outside the car the same. So that's all. Thank you.